Hey everybody, just had Jesse's service done to keep with a 2-year parts warranty. All is good. And I've just had it done at this local place called Andy Sills, and it's a fucking brilliant place. I didn't even know it existed. I try not to talk about it too much because I tend to get a little bit pissed off with the opinion that people generally have on Chinese bikes. Mainly because I've owned one for 6 years. I've owned two over that time, and I love them, and I think they're very, very good for the money that they cost. Because people say, "Oh, you want to get a brand name, you know, like a Yamaha or something, like a WRX 125." Tighter than I realised. And it's true that bike probably will be better than a Chinese bike, but then the thing is they cost over 4,000 quid. They're stereotype Chinese bikes which so many people buy into, and I know it used to be true that they were really, really badly made, but I mean I've had comments saying anything Chinese made is shit. On a lot of big brand bikes, a lot of the parts are made in China because China is one of the fastest growing economies, and they are into manufacturing. It's what they do, and they do it cheaper than anyone else. So it's why they do it. Yet still, people go fucking mad at me. And I mean, if anyone says to me, "Oh, it's bad that you're promoting these bikes," as if there's something wrong with them. I don't have much money, so I bought one of these bikes. Then I crashed my last bike, and I was like, you know what? I love that bike, it's fucking bits. These Sinnises are just fucking great. And it's got a 2-year warranty on it, so do you really think that they're going to go wrong that much? How is a business going to get, run properly if it keeps having to replace half the bike within that 2 years? It's like, no. You know what I mean? I don't really give a shit. I ride a Chinese bike, I love them, I'll use it and I'll keep using them. And the people who will comment on this and tell me what an idiot I am and that, "Oh well, no, you should be better off buying this." Now, yeah, the same money you could buy a second-hand Yam or something, but then you're into the world of second-hand and you have no idea how the person who owned that bike before looked after it. And generally with a 125, the person who owned it was 17 and didn't know fuck all about bikes. Now obviously there are exceptions to this rule. I can only talk about, I'm not talking about Chinese bikes in general, I'm talking about the bike that I own and ride, because that's the only one I actually know a huge amount about. There are 50cc Chinese out there I've seen people have, and they have nothing but trouble, and it's, well, yeah, because they are built very, 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 very cheaply. But there is a change coming, or happening in this country, and from China, that these bikes are getting a lot better. I'd say I've got nothing to fucking prove. I own one, I've owned one before this, I chose to go and buy another one. And I'm really happy that I did, because the equivalents in other brands, I mean, what am I going to buy? The only thing that's like this, as I say, in the normal brand, I mean, hey, you got the WR125X at £4,500 £4,000. I'm not going to pay £4 and a bit grand for a 125. But a couple of grand for a bike which I know I can just, you know, because it's cheaper, and I'm not saying I don't care so much about it, but it is cheaper. I can rag it around, have a lot of fun on it, and not feel like I'm, you know, got £4 grand invested into the thing. So what I'm trying to say basically is, although Chinese bikes, yes, in the past have been bad, and yes, there are still bad ones out there, Sinnises seem to be very good. So the pulse is good, but there's those few little niggly problems in the fairings and stuff which they still haven't corrected. I mean, I gave them feedback for years on stuff. I mean, yeah, as I say, in the past there were the bad ones that did cause problems, and that's how things get reputations and stereotypes. Stereotypes tend to be around because they are true, but they don't always stay that way. I mean, when Japanese bikes were first sold in this country, people were slating them, saying they were shit. I mean, I'm not talking from, this is what I've been told from old school bikers who said, I remember when the Japanese bikes came here, it was exactly the same. Everyone said they were crap. Everyone said they were badly made and unreliable, and and all this stuff. And then now you get people going, oh, you want to get a jet bike, get a proper jet bike, you know, that's what you want. Because that's become the norm. And the tide's up, so I can't go that way. Relax. So I know this is a very controversial subject, because a lot of people have a very strong opinion about how crap they are. And then you're going to get people who own something like a Sinnis that they've not had any problems with, or only very small minor problems, which you accept because you are paying half the cost, less than half the cost of a Yamaha from new. And we get really annoyed when people say, well, you're riding a piece of shit bike, and we're like, well, why is it a piece of shit? It's quick, it goes where I want it to go, it hasn't broken down on me, nothing breaks, it's fun, and it didn't cost me £4,000. And then you get someone stood there that will blanket say, with no knowledge in the subject, oh yeah, it's a piece of shit. And that's why people get very, very frustrated about it. Now, I did in my very early days, I got very pissed off. But these days, as I say, I really don't, I don't need to prove anything. The bike's proved itself to me, time and time again. But, you know, as I say, I don't think there's really anything I can add to this. I just want people to realise that, you know, these bikes, actually, they're alright, and they're getting better. And they're cheap. And these days, no one's got any fucking money. But yeah, no, some people will never see it any other way. In the wind, yes, I quite agree. It's a fucking rat! I shit you not! How fucking brazen are rats nowadays? Chase that rat!